Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Funding Frontier deep dive. Today, we've got something very special for you. We've got a 200K trader who earned 20K profit in 1 month, and that's something special. So if you want to find out how to do that, if you're an aspirational trader, if you just want to leave the corporate race and do a side hustle on the side, this is the place to be, because we've got just the man who's achieved this sort of aspiration, Funding Frontier, the frontier of opportunity. But before we dive into that, we're just going to unpack the agenda for today, the rules of engagement. We're going to take you through a nice little trade maker, our version of a icebreaker. We're going to introduce our man of the hour. Then we're going to go through our platform, Funding Frontier. We're going to take you through his trading strategy. So, of course, you can get some great inside tips. Then we're going to do a little Q&A. And, of course, he's going to give us some takeaway advice for you, just for you. So, without further ado, let's introduce our man of the hour, Isaac Martinez. Mr. Isaac, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you. Very good, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Claudio Barreiro. So you might think we're from the same place just by our names, because, I'm very Latino-based, but no. If you don't know how to say my name, you can just go with Cloudy, like the cloud in the sky. It's a lot easier. So Cloudy in South Africa, we did a little thing called Cloudy. I don't know, Isaac, do you want to try that? Say Cloudy.
Cloudy.
Yeah, but you got to do a little click. You got to go Cloudy.
Cloudy.
Yeah, that's the one. All right, Isaac, we're just going to kick off with our trade maker. The big question is, if you were having a burrito with anyone, who would it be while you were trading?
While I was trading?
Yeah, so if you were going to have a burrito with someone while trading, who would it be?
Well, to be honest with you, at this point right now, I think I'd really like to meet Raja Banks. I would sit down and have a burrito with him, because I'm pretty sure I get a lot of insight from him, more than I've already gotten not meeting him. So I think he would be the guy.
Okay, Raja Banks, we're quite familiar with Mr. Raja, but the question in terms of why would it be? I know you've spoken about certain insights there. Why would it be him specifically?
He's the one that inspired me to get to this point. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here. So I got to give a lot of credit to him. Amazing,
Raja. In case you're listening, our man Isaac has drawn a lot of inspiration for you, but we're going to unpack that further when we discuss his strategies. But Isaac, let's talk a little bit more about you. Where are you from? How did you get into all of this? Why are you doing this?
So I was, when I was younger, I'd been trading maybe for about 3 years consistently. Actually had a lot of ups and downs. I started with the Forex family initially, so that's why I really kind of know Raja Banks. I got started kind of when he was getting started, and obviously he took off very quickly. But I was going to college, and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to see if there was something to get out of the rat race and try to, make a lot more money than most people do. And I'm still working on it. It's not like I'm there yet, but I'm on the way. And so I just wanted a different aspiration to be able to grow quickly or quicker.
Well, look, Isaac, 20K in 1 month, that's a hell of a start. I think you're doing all right. But out of curiosity, what were you studying at college?
So I actually got a degree in biology. I was going to go be a dentist. That was
wow.
Yeah, that was the initial plan. Got my degree in biology. Then I moved to Colorado. I started my first year there. And when I had to put my name to that loan, I said I didn't want to do it. So came back to New Mexico and started working with my pops. We have a plumbing company, and been doing that for about 5 years now, and it's been pretty lucrative. It's good.
Amazing. So what I'm hearing from you is doing what you're doing here with your trading. Is that's clearly a part-time thing while you're working with your father?
Yes, exactly.
And what's the benefit of that? Do you have the time, the luxury? So you're working your hours as a plumber, and then on the side you've got this wax.
Yeah, I'm trying to create more time. So right now my schedule is, I get up I used to trade New York session. What really helped me out was moving to London session. It's a lot less, the moves are a lot cleaner. So I wake up at 6:30, get my day started at about 7:38, work till about 5, 6, go to the gym, go to sleep at about 9, wake up about 12:30, Mountain time, trade till about 2 or 3, and then do it all over again.
So is that the best part of all of this? Is that where other people are watching Netflix, you doing this on the side, and you're just earning more on top of what you're doing on your day to day, feeling fulfilled?
Do I feel fulfilled with it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I like the grind. We watch TV here. Me and my wife watch TV, but for the most part, I'm always thinking about stuff to grow and just keep trying to make some money.
But trading specifically, how did you fall into that? Was that just an opportunity where you thought you'd try it, or in terms of you going like, people make a lot of money here and you just want to explore it? Or was it something you heard of someone personally close to you talking about it? Or what is your discovery session into getting into trading?
I still don't really know many people around me who trade. I know there are some people, in the state that I live in, that they trade stocks and this and that, but I never really knew anybody who got into trading. So I fell on Instagram a long time ago from a guy named Dave Negus, and he got me into it, and he got me into the Forex family, and that's how I kind of got, just the basis of it. And then it took a while for all the, there's a lot of, I guess, if you want to say it, there's not a lot of trueness in Forex. There's a lot of people scamming people because they're selling a lifestyle. And back in the day, there was just editing MT5 or MT4 profits, and that's how a lot of people got sucked in. But I knew deep down there was the possibility of that. I just never really knew anybody close that was actually doing it. And then, Ted was also a good inspiration because he kind of started it. And then I really just started following Raja Banks, and I've kind of just followed him ever since and still do.
Amazing. So you kind of got some information from a friend. You then dug a little deeper, and you just decided you're going to make this a lifestyle as a part to full-time sort of thing. So from plumber to trader, you're still going strong. The question I've got for you, though, is when we're looking at Funding Frontier, out of all the platforms, you obviously spoke about the fact that the benefit is you didn't want to go in deep with your own money. So you went through Funding Frontier. But out of all the platforms, why did you go Funding Frontier in particular?
To be honest with you, is because Dominion Markets was linked to it.
Okay. All right. Please unpack that a little bit more. Be more specific, yeah?
So I've traded with other platforms and funding or prop firms, and a lot of them had terrible latency. The executions were not very great, and I've traded with Dominion Markets on my personal account before, and I've always liked it. I just wanted something to be able to scale a lot quicker, and then he kind of put you guys on and tried you guys, and you guys are awesome. Your team is awesome. The email communication is awesome. So it just ran a lot smoothly, and it just worked out.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised that all of that is it's quite smooth. But I mean, did you compare it to other people, or in terms of the profit margin? Like, what are the specifics apart from the user experience that you're speaking of? Like, what are the benefits there?
In regard, like the profit target's really nice. It's not the 10%. Limited trading days is awesome too. So you can actually take your time. You don't have that extra pressure that trading already adds to it.
And has that particularly made a difference to you? Like in terms of going, I know I've got this additional time that I can actually take my time through it as opposed to feeling incredibly stressed doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't have that time frame to you don't have 30 days to make 10%, which not truly impossible. But sometimes maybe you go down in your account and now it's not 10%. Now it's 12%. And now you start getting into it psychologically where, it can mess with you, and then you start over risking and over trading, and then it leads to failed accounts. And it's the no time thing really does make a big difference.
Yeah. But speaking specifically now in terms of, you speak about the failed challenges. I mean, getting to the point that you got into now with Funding Frontier, I mean, a 200K sort of funded trader, you didn't get to this point right off the bat. You did have some obstacles where you did fail some challenges. I mean, what kept you going in this process?
Just believing the possibility that trading can give me. I know no matter, I have the strategy that I have. The 1 to 2 trades, half a percent per position. If you follow that, then your probability over time, you're going to be successful. My issue was I would over risk and I would over trade. And what really made the difference for me was switching to London session, because in my life, it's very quiet at 1 a.m. So I don't have a lot of external factors. When I was trading New York session, I was getting phone calls from my business while I was trading. I was getting rushed out the door, and stuff like that. And those little things affected me. So I said I had to make a change, and I was profitable in New York. I was able to grow my account, but there was just a little tweaks that I needed to make, and I think London session was really the key for me.
Isn't it great when you find the key that opens the door to your frontier there, man? That's amazing. But in terms of the psychology, in terms of a lot of people at that point, when they've failed a couple of challenges, it's easy to throw in the towel and go, well, you know what, this is not for me. I'm going to stick with what I'm studying, or I'm going to stick with my trade as a plumber. I'm just going to give up on this. But you've consistently pursued that. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that sort of hunger to want to get more?
I guess the hunger that I have for it is I knew the possibilities of it. If I didn't give up, then I could never really fail.
Look, you're oversimplifying this. It's like someone listening to it, like, man, this guy makes it look so easy. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but you're definitely the poster child. For those of you watching this for the first time, this is Isaac's first time. And if you're surprised by that, I am too, because he's doing this like a master. I just want to move over to the next thing. In terms of Isaac, you've got the sort of pricing point, you've looked at the different sort of zones, you're finding a system here that fits within your day-to-day trading, and it's become a lifestyle for you. Now that we're going to go into the sort of trading strategy and unpack this sort of side of your game and why pretty much you've made your 20K profit in 1 month, let's look at what is your daily routine?
My daily routine is just trading wise, or my whole day?
No, your whole day. We want to unpack this, a mental model. So for anyone coming into this, if they've never done this before and they're kind of thinking, why don't I give this a shot? If they can see what your day-to-day is and compare it to their own, they go like, what if I just fit it in here, like he's done here? You could really motivate someone like that.
So my day-to-day, like I kind of talked about previously, I wake up about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I get to work about 7:30, 8. I work outside, hot, cold, whatever weather, because plumbers don't have the luxury of working inside in climate-controlled rooms. So that's a little bit. That's I think that's what's helped me out mentally too. Is working in different conditions. But anyways, back to the schedule. I go to work all day till about 5:30, 6. From then I go to the gym to about 6:30 or to about 7:30, 8. And then from then I come home, spend some time with my wife, and then go to bed at about 9:30, wake up at 12:40 a.m. and trade London session till 2, 3 a.m. and then wake back up again at 6:30 and do it all over again. And in between those days, I look at the charts on my phone and I kind of see, well, how did I miss that move, or how did I get the move? How could I make the move better? And I look at how London session is working, New York session, how London moved into New York, and then how New York moved throughout the day, and then obviously the new days for Asian session, and just kind of do it all over again. Just try to find a pattern and just do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, man, that's commendable. That's something what NBA athletes grind on. You're a different type of NBA athlete, just doing it too. This is incredible. We've spoken about Raja Banks here. I think I want to unpack the smart Raja concepts and the trading style, and pretty much how much of that do you take from it, and what are the pros and what are the cons, and do you kind of add your own flair while you're taking something like this, or is this particular the concept that you use?
It's mainly the concept I use. There's I've learned order blocks and order flow, and kind of where institutional money wants to play into the charts, but for the most part, you just keep it simple. You wait for a break or a close above a zone, and you enter. And as long as you manage risk, it's pretty straightforward. Over time, you should be profitable.
Just casually, just like that. If you just plug and play, you should be profitable.
Yeah, exactly. When you overthink it, then you start thinking about too many factors, and then I think that's when the emotions start taking over. And
what about magic keys there, Isaac? Do you wanna unpack about your magic keys?
Yes, magic keys is a wonder for me. So got the new version here. Magic keys is awesome. It definitely helps you out. You're not guessing lot sizes. You're not wondering really anything. You just plug it in and it calculates it for you. You can do partial stop loss, partial take profits, everything. You can just set and forget with it, and you can manage risk with it. I think magickeys, that also has been a game changer for me.
So what point, like from your start to where you're at now, like where did you introduce magickeys from a sort of assistance? Because as we go along, we slightly get more clued up and we say, these are tools that are going to help us. Was this early in the process going, I'm going to find a way to mitigate my time and make it easy and efficient? Or is it something that's come later on through, again, someone like a Raja Banks' inspiration?
Yeah, it's come a little bit later on. I wasn't too bad. I could calculate the lot sizes pretty easily, but this will get it down to the minute, point zero part of the lot size. It really helps dial down how much you're risking. And I think that's the most important thing, not about how much you're going to make, but how much you may lose.
So it's pretty much the end game theory. They're trying to work out your pretty much your gains and work out the losses and work it from there, as opposed to going, I'm just going to win.
Exactly. Yeah, because losses are inevitable. So, you're going to take a loss one way or sometime or another.
So just trying to manage that risk, minimize it, work out the probability, and play your odds there.
Exactly.
All right, awesome, Isaac. Well, we've got your pretty much dashboard on show here backstage. We're going to bring it in here with regards to Funding Frontier. And let's talk us through your trading statistics and your trading dashboard, and tell us pretty much how you've been doing in the last couple of months, and speak to your biggest trade, your strategy with regards to your biggest win in terms of your profit.
Here's my new active one, and I actually just passed phase 1 and phase 2 for another 200K challenge, so I should be getting that pretty soon as well. But when I
suppose, Isaac, while you're going through this, explain for someone who's never used a platform like Funding Frontier how these challenges work and how they get to qualify for 200K, because 200K is massive. It's not 10K. You've opted and you've passed for 200K.
So what I did and what was helpful for me is I was risking 0.5% on the beginning. So when I first started, I risk 0.5% of 200,000, which is $1,000, which that's a lot. That's more of my daily pay, and it's so minute of your account balance. So as I started progressing and making 2,000, 3,000, that's winning 2, 3, 4 trades, depending if you get a 1-to-1, 1-to-2s. But as I started getting a little bit of cushion, then I felt a little more comfortable going to 0.75% and then 1%. And then you start compounding your account a lot quicker than you would think. But if you do lose that 1% trade and you're up $6,000 and you lose 1%, you're still up 2% because you're at $4,000 now, and you still have that buffer. So if you want, you can say, okay, well, let's take a seat back, let's risk 0.5% again, get back that cushion, and then start risking a little bit more, because overall your strategy, you should win more than you lose, or your losses should be bigger than your win. I mean, your wins should be bigger than your losses. And that's what's helped me pass these challenges, or these last 2 challenges at least. And that's when I started doing it. But that's kind of been the key for me, is just risking 0.5%, building a buffer. And from that buffer, then you can start risking a little bit more, because you have a little bit more to lose. As long as you don't over risk, because prop firms do have, certain rules that you really have to abide by, and you can get stuck by them. And Funding Frontier is awesome because they don't just say, hey, we're taking away your account because you did this. You guys give soft breaches, and you guys are very understandable on, being able to, I guess, stick up for your mistakes. I had one where I had a stop loss where they said I had a stop loss where I didn't put one, but with magickeys, it's kind of automatic. And they looked into it and they said, yeah, you're right, changed it. And it's just very smooth with communicating with them and anything that may go wrong with it.
Yeah, it's definitely something Funding Frontier put a lot of focus and energy into it, especially for your experienced sort of trader and someone who's just entering the market. They really try and help anyone to do and maximize their opportunity. But Isaac, let's go through your dashboard again. Take us through this. Show us just your statistics and again, what your process is.
So this is what I was talking about. I had a couple of challenges that I did fail. Emotions got in the way with me. But here were the last couple of accounts. So here's my active account, where my currently funded account. Here's my second phase of my 200,000 and my first phase, and this is going to be another funded $200,000. The violation that I was talking about was where they switched servers or something like that, so they gave me a new funded account. So, and then here's my second and first phase for my first passing of my first funded challenge, and then here are my lost accounts, you would say. And you guys had great discount codes, so you want to do a little calculation, about $800 each. It's about $4,000, but I got a $20,000 payout, so it's definitely well worth it.
I mean, I think the next question I have for you is, can you tell us about some of your losing trades and how you deal with that when you go through that? Because I mean, that's a big grind. I know for me personally, when I start playing around with it and I go, oh, I'm playing, and I've obviously gained something and I get excited. But as soon as I've lost something, the hurt feels far greater than the win. So I tend to just take what I have and leave, as opposed to keep going and keep persisting.
Yeah, when it comes to losses, I feel like the magic number for me was that 0.5%. I mentally, if you're completely wrong on a trade and that happens, there's not a way to manage risk, or just take the wrong trade. Me being able to see $1,000 loss as compared to a $2,000 loss or $3,000 loss was just something that clicked for me mentally, that was easy for me to accept. And that's the best way for me to accept a loss, is knowing how much I'm going to lose and being okay with that number.
Okay, I suppose and that's an interesting sort of observation in terms of saying you're accepting that loss. And if you're starting out as an entrepreneur, if we're looking at it from this perspective, generally you got your wins and your losses, and every business has a liability, and you got to work that out. And you're going, well, this is part of the process, and you're accepting the loss, as opposed to going, this is something that's attacking me personally, and it's something that's affecting my personal journey. But if you approach it going, this is part of what it's going to entail when I'm trading, that's going to help you psychologically. Is that kind of what you're suggesting there?
Yeah, that's pretty much what you just have to find something that everybody's different. Some people are able to, risk a lot and be okay with that, but I just 0.5% for me is just the magic number. That's it. I'm okay with losing that mentally. And if you're not, then 0.25% is even better. And like I said, you guys are great with no time limit. You could take 2-3 months to pass one phase if you want. But once you get to that funded part, you can be clearing 2-3 times your daily pay, risking 0.5%, which is mind blowing to me.
I mean, look, I think the M there for Isaac M, it's not Isaac Martinez, it's Isaac Magician. You got the magic keyboard, you got the 0.5% magic number over there. You've got the sort of, I wouldn't say cautious, but a good strategy when it comes to probability and working that out. You've almost made this a fine-tuned sort of profitable business. And specifically, Isaac, just going back to the dashboard and going back to your trades, I just want to talk about the account number. I've got the account number here. It's 7009846. And I'd like to go through that and unpack that a little bit more specifically, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Let me yeah, so this is the 7009846 and you can see here's just the progression. This is whenever they took the payout from my account, that big drop. And I guess down here you can see the average win was about $900. I don't know exactly how they calculate this. I think it's based off of position size and how I exit, because I will take I will close half my trade at a certain level and let the rest run, and I think that's how they average it out. So I had a couple of streaks where I would lose quite a few times, about $380, $200, 150, 19, and so on and so forth. And then I had winners about 608, 190. Then I'd go on a little bit of a win streak, and then still go on a losing streak, and so on and so forth. But overall, my winners were either twice as big or just as big as 0.5% of my trades. There were some trades that I would trade a little bit more, and I want to show you guys that. So you can see here's a little streak that I had.
I mean, look, Isaac, I'm not going to lie. I'm just seeing red on that screen. That's making me nervous. And I'm loving the little greens there because that's very deceiving. It kind of looks like your bank statement at the end of the month. You know, all the money goes out and all of a sudden, bam, there comes in your salary. Or in your case, there comes in your big profit margin.
Right. And yeah, like I said, as long as your winners are bigger than your losses, then it all works out. I could lose twice as much as I win and trade a 1-to-1 and, you know, either almost break even or still be profitable in that sense. Not many of my trades were, you know, really big losses. I had $980 for a loss, but then I had, you know, $2,000 for a win, $3,800. Sorry, this keeps on highlighting. $3,800 wins, $1,700, and, you know, so on and so forth. And, you know, I had one big loss here and one big loss here. That's when I was starting to risk a little bit more. And then I said, you can go back and actually be comfortable. Because I was in such profit, I think I was up $10,000, $12,000 when I started risking 1%. And, you know, then I started going on a little bit of a streak, lost a couple. But overall, there was the payout that I got from Funding Frontier was the $19,868.
That's brilliant, man. I suppose, like, just keeping to it again is what I'm just harping back on this, because I think a lot of times people will just be like, I've had enough. But in your case, you've just stuck with your guns and you've stuck to the same thing. You haven't changed it up much. Am I correct in saying that? You've stuck with the same tactic?
Yes, yeah, pretty much sticking to the same tactic, and just risk management is the key. It's like I said, it's not about how much you're going to win. It's about how much you can lose, and you have to be okay with that number. That's what's really worked for me.
Okay, and then on that point, I mean, we've spoken about his name. We've mentioned him a couple of times, Mr. Raja Banks, and he speaks about sticking to 1 to 2 trades a day. Is this something you do religiously? And how did you find that, if you do that?
Really helped me out was moving to London session. Like I said, I had a lot of external factors with my job and kind of just my life in general. Waking up for New York, and New York's very volatile. I like the volatility in it, but there's a lot of news that comes out in New York. So switching to London, you know, you have the news from the previous day from New York that kind of transfers over to London, which is very helpful. So you get a lot cleaner moves, and then just kind of being alone at that time of night is kind of peaceful for me. It's gotten peaceful for me, where it was hard waking up, but I've seen the moves that happen in London, and it's just a lot cleaner. And I think it just worked for me to wake up at that time, and being able to stick to the 1 to 2 trades was, you know, I'm tired at that time. So I just want to take one trade. I don't want to get mad because I lost. It's either I just want to take it, get in, get out, and go back to bed.
So, I mean, that's interesting. You mentioned the volatility of New York versus finding a bit more of a casual schedule, one that, again, suits your lifestyle and your daily routine. Do you think for newbies and new people who want to come into this game, do you think there's a sort of risk of over trading, getting caught up in all that hype and all that news, as opposed to going, no, I'm sticking to my guns, I'm sticking to my routine, 1 to 2 trades suits me, as opposed to going, damn, I heard this is happening over here, and all of a sudden I'm reacting to that, now I'm in it, and I want to make more. Do you think there's something in that going, as soon as you switched over, went to something more tranquil, that strategy was perfect for you and you didn't get sucked into that?
Yeah, and you know, you get a lot of more volume with New York when the news comes out. And obviously, I don't recommend trading news, because you do got a lot of liquidity grabs and fake outs and just big reversals that you don't really expect. And that was also tough for me psychologically to handle, because you'd be perfect on your analysis. You say, you know, NFP came out, and NFP this last week was beautiful. It was a beautiful move, but a lot of times you'll see NFP wick up, take everybody out, and then drop down, and that's where usually everybody's stop losses are. And that messes with you, because you're like, damn, I wasn't wrong, but my stop was just a little bit too tight. And then you're like, well, I can get it back because I know it's going to keep going down, and then, you know, volume dies out, or the move just doesn't work out, and the move ends, and it's just going to consolidate at that time. And just kind of staying away from that helped me just be okay taking 1 or 2 trades, because with London session, you don't get a lot of fake outs like that. London session does has its moments, but I just believe it's a lot cleaner to trade. It's just a lot harder in my life because it's at 1 a.m.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's coming back to your lifestyle and making it work for you. And in terms of a newbie entering, it seems like there's a lot of discipline in that, in sticking to the 1 to 2 trades and going, okay, you're just going to do that. I mean, what tip or advice would you have for a newcomer and not to overtrade and the downfall of overtrading?
Well, not to overtrade is just to say tomorrow's a new day. If you can get past today, and win tomorrow and win the next day, and then you may lose the one after that, and being okay with not having a winning day every single day is something hard to overcome, because most people who have a 9-to-5 job, they're guaranteed that paycheck. Unless they don't show up to that job, they're gonna get paid. You could show up a whole week and not take one trade and not get paid, but the following week you take one trade and you make up for your whole week that you missed out on. And changing your mentality a little bit in that essence is it was tough for me. And some people, a lot younger than I am, could probably figure it out, or it just takes time. It took time for me to. I've had a lot of winning streaks. I've had a lot of losing streaks. I've made money, not just with prop firms, but I've lost a lot of money not following my rules. And if you could just be disciplined, that's going to be it's the easiest thing to say, but the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Are you listening to Andrew Huberman? Yeah, man. Taking cold showers, sticking to your daily routine, having your coffee, getting your dopamine spikes. I mean, definitely trading is definitely one of those things. I think, Isaac, we're going to move over to the Q&A. We've got 2 questions here. And this is obviously from the Funding Frontier sort of community. One of the questions is, what do you plan to do with your big payout that you received from Funding Frontier?
I mean, to be honest with you,
no pressure. Yeah. I mean, you can be modest if you want to, but I'm expecting a yacht or something glamorous.
Well, I wish a yacht with $20,000, but no. To be honest with you, I am still I'm figuring it out. I opened up a business account. I put the payout into my business, and I'm just essentially trying to accumulate multiple sources of income. I make great money with my plumbing business, and then obviously this is going to be my next thing here, and eventually it's going to be into real estate. And so, to be honest with you, I'm probably just going to buy my wife a trip. We're going to go somewhere, have a little bit of fun, and then just try to figure out how to not pay as much in taxes. To be honest with you, that's my next thing, is to figure out what to do with the money that I'm making, because obviously 30-40% in taxes not fun, because you make a lot of money and they just take it from you like that. So my next learning curve is trying to figure out what to do with the money.
Yeah.
So and I'm not a very flashy person. I have a car, it's paid off. I drive my work truck more than I drive my personal vehicle, so cars really are my thing. More vacations and life experiences or something that you probably spend the money on.
I'm not going to lie. Look, Isaac, if you said anything else, I think I'd be very shocked as to how you got this 20K in the first place. I think it's the guys that are over trading that are trying to get those yachts. I think your wife's also quite chuffed with this plan. She's going to go away somewhere quite nice. And I think once you've figured out the whole tax thing, that's going to be another episode for us to discuss. Question 2 is, are you a part of any trading groups or communities? And if you are, can you tell us which ones?
So I am a part of the Raja Banks, the Forex family. He has messages there, and also 10 Pips Daily. Connor is great. I'm in his group there. I kind of just joined it because it does get a little quiet at night, and it's cool just kind of being on his streams and seeing everybody's analysis and ideas. And I talked to him a little bit, and he said that everybody does trade differently, but it's he does have a lot of great insight, and his group is really awesome.
There you go, people. You're getting some insight here from Isaac, and then if you want to chat to him in person, you can join this community he's just mentioned. We're now going to move over to our rapid fire. This is going to be in and out sort of question. I'm going to ask you, Isaac, a couple of questions, and you're just going to quick respond with them. Number 1, day trading or long-term investing?
Day trading.
Biggest trading win?
Biggest trading win, about 8,000.
Most memorable trading loss?
Most memorable trading loss, probably about 4,000 of my own personal money. So that took a little.
So that one stung a lot. It's a good thing. It looks like you can take one on the chin. Now, pre-market or after hour trading?
Pre-market.
Awesome. That's good. That's good. Best financial advice you've ever received?
Best financial advice, I would say to save your money and then find ways to make it grow, because not many people know how to keep their money. If they make a lot and they spend it just as quick as they make it.
Yeah, so avoid the yacht, people. That's what he's saying.
Avoid the yacht.
Worst financial advice you've heard?
Worst financial advice.
Buy the yacht. Am I right?
Yeah, buy the yacht. You only have one life to live. Spend it while you got it. You're not gonna live. You don't know if you're guaranteed to live till tomorrow, but for the most part, you're gonna wake up the next day. So you might want to save a little bit of money.
There you go. I like that. One book every trader should read.
The Compound Effect.
The future of trading, more human or more algorithmic?
I think it'll always be human.
No, there we go. I like this man. He's working with tangible assets. He's sticking to the people. He does plumbing during the day and he makes money in the evening. Right, we're going to move over. Isaac, we're going to go to the takeaway. And this is where you're going to leave us with some tips. But before we talk about your advice that you're going to give the people listening to this, we're going to say, what are your future plans in terms of trading with Funding Frontier? And where do you see yourself within the next 2 years?
I see myself in the next 2 years being a full-time trader. My plan is to use Funding Frontier to help my lifestyle and the way I want to live it, and give myself a little bit more time. I would like to get out of the plumbing field a little bit more, and spend more time. I'm actually expecting a baby, so that's gonna be.
Oh shit, Isaac! Congrats, man. That's amazing.
So I do want to be able to work my life around being able to spend time with my wife and my kid a little more, or a lot more. Because right now, obviously, my lifestyle, I have a few hours here and there, but I'm just in that, put my head down, grind until I'm at a comfortable level. But back to using you guys Funding Frontier, I would like to put more money into a personal account and just keep growing it.
All right, amazing. And then one last thing. What is the advice you have for anyone listening to you today?
Don't give up. If trading's you have to be passionate about trading, and it does make you learn who you are as a person. And I think if you really believe in financial freedom and the possibilities that trading can give you, don't give up. No matter how many times you lose, how many times you feel like giving up, quitting, or how much you hate the process of it, don't give up. That's what I say. Don't give up, because you never know where it could take you.
There you have it, folks. If you thought you're joining us today for a trading conversation, what you're actually doing was, I think, Creed 4 or Rocky Balboa sort of motivation speaking. I mean, Isaac, you've done a fantastic job. You got me motivated. I'm really keen to get going. And I want to change one or two things with my lifestyle. Yeah, I'm throwing the yacht out the back, leaving it in the water, and I'm going to start focusing more long term. Bad advice: you only live once. YOLO's bad for everyone. Okay, people. This is what I'm getting from Isaac.
Well, you gotta enjoy your life. Don't get me wrong. Enjoy yourself, but always prepare that you're going to get up the next day and you'll be here. So.
All right, Isaac, I just want to say thanks, man. It was really awesome catching up with you. For everyone who listened in for the first time, I want to say thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the sort of comment section there. Tell us what you think about this. And obviously, Isaac's going to get onto the social streets at some point, I'm sure. And if not, you can just ask him questions, and he might respond. We'll see about that. But thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic one. Cheers.
Yeah, likewise. Take care, man. Thank you.